Alrighty, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Brock Beard from lastcar.info. As you guys know, of course, we have a bit of a rain delay here in the 600. And for those of you who would like, since the race will more than likely end quite late for some of you out there, I figured we go ahead and jump the gun and go ahead and do a bit of a live stream here for a little bit during this rain delay. And we'll do some of the trivia here if you guys like along the way. Not too much to report from the first part of this, except for a catastrophic turn of events for Denny Hamlin there at the start of the race, having several tungsten weights fall out of the car on the track. And Joey Gase was among the three drivers, at least according to Gase, that had run over the debris there during the first laps. Going to result in some very serious penalties for Joe Gibbs Racing looking ahead. We'll see if that has any effect on the running order at the finish of the race. We've seen this in practice sessions and qualifying before, and serious penalties for that. But obviously, how dangerous something that heavy falling on the track can be to other drivers. But as of this moment, Denny Hamlin 9 laps down in the last spot. Could potentially be his first last place finish since 2014, although we're very early in the event. Positions could change very easily with nobody out of the race yet. Joey Gase, after the aforementioned trip down pit road, held it 4 laps down. Quinn Houff 2 laps down in 38th. Timmy Hill and J.J. Yaley rounding out the bottom 5, both of them 1 lap down at the same time. So rough deal there for some drivers. Others looking very good. Tyler Reddick looking to have another good top 10 run here at the first part of the race. Having a good finish, good performance so far. Good Fox there to jump on doing the interview with him. And it's gonna be an interesting one here. Not sure exactly what to expect in the rest of this, but much like the 2000 season where Jerry Nadeau was leading at the red flag for rain, although that was well past the halfway point. If the race didn't restart, he would have won the race. As it turned out, though, that was Matt Kenseth's first ever win in that one when he was driving the DeWalt number 17 for Roush Fenway Racing. Also mentioning Miller Lite having their only primary sponsorship out there this year, the number 2 car, coming on the 30th anniversary of Miller's win in the Coca-Cola 600 as a sponsor for Blue Max Racing and Rusty Wallace. And, a lot of beginnings and endings coming along the way. But we don't know who's going to finish last yet. We certainly don't know who's going to win. But it's an interesting start coming on there. Hope you all are having a great Memorial Day weekend here. I know it's quite hot here on the West Coast. I imagine it's probably about the same in other portions if you're not dealing with the same rain that's happening there on the East Coast. But it's going to be an interesting deal there. Checking the question there, Pinking554. Yeah, do I think that there's going to be a suspension on the crew chief, car chief, and head engineer? I know Bob Pockris made a tweet about that earlier, and Bob knows that stuff backwards and forwards. So if he's saying it, I think that's a very high possibility. I think it's. I'm trying to remember in the past incidents that this has happened. If it's actually happened during a race, it's very fortunate this happened during a pace lap. Maybe there's a mitigating factor in terms of what penalty is going to be handed down. But I do expect that there's going to be some serious penalties on that because that's a major oversight, and they can't let that go by, especially with 2 pieces of it coming out there. That's been a real problem for that. But it's gonna be interesting. Clark, seeing your comment there, yeah. If you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. It's pretty different over here, but I imagine over there you get a different scenario there. But we'll do that. So again, welcome aboard here for the live stream. I know we got the broadcast running in the background here, so we'll see how things go. I don't know if we'll do this for the entire wait because it might be a while depending on how long it's going to be. But we'll do some trivia questions here on the NASCAR Trivial Pursuit thing that we do on our Sunday shows or other post-race ones. What we'll go ahead and do is we'll start off by listing the different categories, kind of Jeopardy style here. You don't have to respond in the form of a question, but we'll start off with the different topics that are available. First topic is NASCAR. Second topic is pits. Third topic is teams. Fourth is tracks. 5th is drivers, and 6th is wild card. Thank you, Clark. Glad you like the shirt. William Byron won. He was one I was watching at Darlington last year when he won the pole there, the Cole Trickle car. Fun moment there. Go ahead and make sure you mention which category you want to start off with, and we'll go ahead and do that. Categories, again, are NASCAR, pits, teams, tracks, drivers, and the wild card. Now, these are all questions, again, most of them pertaining to the Cup Series. I don't believe we've had any variety beyond that. This was made in the late 90s, so any information is going to be from that same time period. So I'm not going to get too many Kyle Busch or Jimmy Johnson questions, but those are other things to look at there. Okay, I'm seeing a couple for tracks, seeing 4 for tracks, 1 for teams, a couple for drivers. Looks like tracks is the most votes so far, so we'll start off with that, and then we can change category along the way. So we'll jump into tracks. Okay, here we go. First trivia question of the evening. What driver had birthday number 58 on the day of the first Las Vegas race? Well, there's a challenging one. What driver had birthday number 58 on the day of the first Las Vegas race? There's an interesting one. Welcome aboard, everybody. Hey there, Beast of Metal. How you doing? What driver had birthday number 58 on the day of the first Las Vegas race? We have guesses for Shepard and Skinner. Don't look it up on Racing Reference. But we have the first Las Vegas race. I would assume the first Las Vegas Cup Series race. So that might potentially narrow it down. What driver had birthday number 58 on the day of the first Las Vegas race? Joe Nemechek, Rich Bickle, good guesses. Several good guesses. All right. Dave Marcus, several. Okay. Terry Labonte. All righty, here we go. The answer, birthday number 58 on the first Las Vegas race. The answer is Dave Marcus. Dave Marcus. Looks like Davis Warren. You got it there, man. Dave Marcus is the correct answer. All righty. Good one to start off here. Should have a good category here. All righty. Let's get... here we go. Here we go. This is another interesting one. Who was the first driver to test at Texas Motor Speedway? The first driver to test at Texas Motor Speedway. There we go. Another late 90s new track to the circuit kind of question. The first driver to test at Texas Motor Speedway. Which driver was the first to test at Texas Motor Speedway? We got guesses for Earnhardt and Skinner. Any other guesses from there? I know this one's, I'm not sure about this one either. This is another tricky one. Kenny Brack, that'll be something. Jeff Burton, I'm not sure. First driver to test at Texas Motor Speedway. Jeff Burton, of course, the first winner in the inaugural race. Construction worker flipped the pace car before the track was even done. Well, there we go. Maybe that'll list it. You never know. It doesn't have a character limit on this thing. It could be anything. The first driver to test at Texas Motor Speedway. Answer coming right up here. Hey there, Fish Productions. All right. And the answer is Mark Martin. Mark Martin is the answer to that one. So there we go. Wouldn't have guessed on that one. All righty. What track changed its name to Golden State Raceway for a year? What track changed its name to Golden State Raceway for a year? Which track? Here we go. Which track changed its name to Golden State Raceway for a year? You have guessed for Auto Club and Fontana. What track changed its name to Golden State Raceway for a year? Sonoma, Ontario, Atlanta, Riverside. We got several guesses, several good guesses. As we have Jimmy Johnson being interviewed on the big screen. Doesn't look like it's raining too much. Look at the windshield of one of those trucks going around there, and it doesn't seem too bad. I know they're doing windshield checks on the equipment trucks during that first run. We'll see what we have here. Okay, what track changed its name to Golden State Raceway for a year? The answer is Sears Point. There we go. Sears Point. How about that? That was another thing I left out of the video. I was kind of leaning towards Ontario or something like that, maybe something further back. But how about that? Sears Point is the answer on that one. And of course, for those of you who haven't seen my video, why Sears Point is awesome, His latest video was just posted the other day. Thank you again to the folks that tuned into that. If you missed that premiere, it's definitely available on the YouTube right there. A 45-minute video will help you also pass the time during this rain delay perhaps as well. Very pleased with the response so far. Thank you again for everybody, your comments and ideas and everything else in there. And we're going to get some more content coming up there. Question about the Scott Baker crash. I actually had that on tape from years ago. I just happened to have seen it on a broadcast back in the year 2000, and I had that on hand. And yeah, just it turned up when I was going through my DVDs and copying it. It was already on a tape that also had the Bud at the Glen from 1991 on it as well. So when it turned up, I didn't see anything of it on YouTube. It definitely came up more for my 3 Before February documentary because it was directly relevant to the accidents that happened that year. But that is where that clip came up from. It was from an original copy that I had on hand. I do not have the full race, though, or the full rebroadcast. Looks like they did a same-day tape delayed thing for that. The clip in its entirety that's on YouTube is all the footage I have of that race. So unfortunately, I don't. One thing that's missing on that is a shame is because there's a car that's actually a J.D. McDuffie tribute car that ran at the beginning of the race and unfortunately finished last. So unfortunately, I don't have any footage of that. So I'm sure, again, somebody out there has the entire broadcast and can see such things as that is out there. Here we go. Let's see. Where do I get my kick butt flare? I don't know about that. I don't know if I pass off on that. I don't know if you mean the shirt or anything like that. Because I just found this at the track, but I appreciate the compliment, man. Thank you, Clark. Kenseth on TV. Okay, there we go. Good to see him in the McDonald's car. Is Matt Kenseth going to end the McDonald's losing streak? NASCAR Man did another tweet on that today, and he's been keeping the tally on that and how long it's been since July of '94 when Jimmy Spencer was the hot property before he injured his shoulder at the first Brickyard 400. It's been quite a long time. We've seen they won a NASCAR championship with Andy Houston in 2001 and been sponsoring many different drivers that have come and gone. Jamie McMurray, of course, being in the booth, being one of the guys sponsored by him. And all of McMurray's wins didn't come in the McDonald's car. So we'll see what happens. Kenseth might be one to watch. My pick was to win tonight was Keselowski because I think it would be great if he won in what could potentially be the last race for Miller Lite. But if Kenseth did on the 20th anniversary event of this Charlotte race and break that streak as well, that would be pretty exciting. Seemed like he had a good car at the beginning, so we'll see how things turn around on that. But it's entirely possible. Alrighty. Okay, here we go. Aha, okay. This is interesting. These are good questions here starting off. This next one, what track boasts of having 2,450 toilets with 2 women's for every men's? Bathroom question. Watched the video the other day on how many toilets were on the Titanic. Here's your NASCAR equivalent. What track boasts of having 2,450 toilets with 2 women's for every men's? There's an interesting question. Which track? Not sure if it's Sears Point. Back in the late 90s, they just had porta potties around there. That's something I didn't mention in the video. It was very, you're kind of out in the boonies there. The permanent facilities that they now have in all over the track, it's much improved in the years since then. Primarily, especially under that big setup there on the main front stretch there. Used to be, it was much more rugged out there before. Okay, we have several guesses here. Dover, Pocono, Richmond. No, I misread that. Not Richmond. Rockingham, Indianapolis, Texas. Indianapolis. Sounds like something that they would mention it like a Texas or a Charlotte or something. 2,450 toilets with 2 women's for every men's. And the answer to the question is Texas. Indeed, it is Texas. You guys got it there. There we go. So what, Maserati 9, Davis Warren, you guys got it. Adam Liveries, you got that too. It's near, but yeah, there we go. How about that? Okay, next track question. Okay, no, not that. That was too easy. What's the length of Phoenix? It's 1 mile. Okay, come on. All right, here we go. Okay. How many out of 12 Bristol races from 1981 to 1986 did Darrell Waltrip win? How many out of 12 Bristol races from 1981 to 1986 did Darrell Waltrip win? How many of those? From 1981 to 1986 did Darrell Waltrip win? Out of 12 Bristol races held during that stretch, how many did he win? There we go. There's a gas man who worked for JD in the 80s. Seeing your comment there, Andrew. That's cool. I wonder if that was one of the people I don't believe I talked to the gas man from the team. There was a lot of talk about other crew members that were part-timers that came in different regions. And then there was one guy that was it the guy that was nicknamed Crane or something that was mentioned from the West Coast. I think he was the tire guy, but I never talked to him. So I'm not sure if I talked to the fuel guy there. 8-Bit Enterprises, a question about knowing Jesse Iwuji. I have spoken with him before. He's an interesting guy, very, very down to earth. Talked to him at Phoenix a couple of years ago when he was driving in the truck series there. It's unfortunate he's had kind of some rough runs there, kind of further back in the lineup there. But great personality, very, very easy to talk to and everything. And hopefully he'll be able to get his feet under him. I think at the time I talked to him, he just made like one truck start over in Canadian Tire before that. So trying to get some more races there. I believe he's going to be running in the truck race coming up this Tuesday for the Rian brothers. So that'll be something to see. Any questions on Terry Stevenson's accident? No, I don't have any other accidents like of that nature on tape. At least not that I know of. A lot of stuff that I have is stuff that's publicly available on YouTube and everything at the moment. I'll see if anything else turns up, but that one stands out more for the time. Okay, getting the answer to the question: how many out of 12 Bristol races did Darrell Waltrip win? He won 10 of those 12. 10 is the correct answer. And Matt W., you got it there. There you go. Right on. I got your grandpa's name on Jesse's truck. Oh, that's right on. Very cool. It doesn't surprise me that he does some good fan interaction things for him on that team. That's good to see. And now we're up to Jeff Gordon talking to Chase Elliott. No doubt about the accident last week that nobody is going to stop talking about. On and on and on. Okay. So here we go. Next question. Who did Richard Petty pass to become racing's all-time winner in 1967? Who did Richard Petty pass to become racing's all-time winner in 1967? This one still comes under the tracks category. I'm not sure why. It's definitely asking for a driver name. But who did Richard Petty pass to become racing's all-time winner in 1967? 67. Richard Petty became the all-time winner. We have guesses from Pearson and Lee Petty and Fred Lorenzen. There we go. Lee Petty, Mike Skinner. Yeah, that's right, Jesse. That was a crazy thing with Jesse Iwuji. He had that one where he had a race in Las Vegas, and then he and his wife, I guess, had to drive all the way over to. He got his number came up, so he had to answer the call of duty there over at the fort and report to that and drive all night to get there. I mean, man's committed. Again, I know people can get critical about how people perform and everything, but he's early on in that. And he's got a good personality, and he was talking to another person in front of me, and he gave me just as much attention as the previous person. So, that's half the battle right there. That'll sponsors take note of things like that. Alrighty, so the answer is Lee Petty. Indeed, you guys all got it there. Davis, Matt, Scott, Maserati 9. There we go. Mike Skinner, that would have been something else. Adam, I do remember the starting grid there in 2009. Again, thank you for the intro and the video on that. I believe that was the one that David Ruderman won. Actually, with about as much rain as we're seeing tonight. So again, thank you for the video in that as well. The 2009 Coca-Cola 600 video. I think that was one where we did the retro paint schemes or retro cars for the different entries in the lineup there. That was kind of a fun one to put together. Kind of cobbled together some pictures on that. 15 minutes until cars are getting back on track. Okay, well, that's good news. Well, we'll wrap this up short of that. We'll get a few more questions in here, and then we'll pick back up with the action and see if Denny Hamlin is going to stay back there or if somebody else is going to take over the spot. Alrighty. Well, here's a vague question. Okay, I'm not sure exactly how to interpret this. What is NASCAR's original super speedway? That's the full question. What is NASCAR's original super speedway? You're going to have to read the mind of this little computer here and guess exactly what it is asking. What is NASCAR's original super speedway? Darlington, Darlington, Farmington, Darlington. Seems like Darlington kind of question. I was thinking Daytona when it said super speedway, but I could be wrong about that. Charlotte, Darlington, okay. Any other guesses on that? The answer is Darlington. Okay, yep, all right. I was overthinking it. You guys got it. Okay, that one's too easy. Ooh, here we go. Here we go. Here's another good one. What was is good call? Did the track one here? The track one, the pits one when we did the other day was really good, but this one's good too. What was the first track to be topped with polymer enhanced asphalt? The first track to be topped with, polymer enhanced asphalt. Polymer enhanced asphalt. Which track was the first to have that? We got Darlington and no, sorry, we're back to the last one before. We got Bristol and Charlotte, our first guesses. The first track to be topped with polymer enhanced asphalt. As we're now up to Christopher Bell's interview here. Interviewed him back at Fontana when he had the engine failure there. He was still running on the track at the moment in the 600. What was the first track to be topped with polymer enhanced asphalt? We got several guesses here. Charlotte, Texas, Ontario, Fontana, Bristol, Lernerville, Dover, Heidelberg, Texas. And the answer is Michigan. Michigan. I don't believe anybody guessed that. Martinsville, Talladega. Michigan is the answer. It'd be interesting if it did something like that. Why don't you and Slap Shoes do a crossover video? I'm open to it. You know, I've got some scripts on hand. I may be kicking around. We'll see if something gets communicated there. I got one video that I'm working on just myself here, and of course I've still got the work I'm doing with NASCAR Man as well. We had some I have some script recordings I sent off with him, but I might have something down the line here that I might be picking his brain on there. There is, as a teaser for you guys, there is something that came up in one of Slap Shoes' videos that actually is going to come up in my next video. So he actually beat me to the punch on one of the subjects there. Now, I'm going to take it in kind of a different direction, but he has touched on it. So there's a teaser for the next video that I have planned for this channel right here. So stay tuned for that. Let's see. Yeah, Michigan. Yeah, polymer enhanced asphalt. That's the first I've heard of that. That's it almost seemed like maybe something to do at Daytona, like maybe in the late 70s, and they did that. Ready. Alrighty. Okay, here we go. Another question. Next question on the tracks category. What did Darlington's president have to do to run the 1957 Rebel 300 on a Sunday? What did Darlington's president have to do to run the 1957 Rebel 300 on a Sunday? What did he have to do at Darlington? What did Darlington's president have to do to run the 1957 Rebel 300 on a Sunday? What did he have to do? All right. Several guesses here. No alcohol. Probably bribe someone. Stand on his head. Get the governor's permission. All right. We got several guesses here. Hold church service. Change the name. Commit several federal crimes. I mean, you never know. Could be anything. We had a question that was answered in here. What was it about the guy that ran the rental car to run on the track or something like that? What's this here? Matt Kenseth. I'm gonna have to rewind this to listen to the Matt Kenseth one. Apparently, Jimmy was impressed with Kenseth's interview. But and we're on to Chris Buescher. Alrighty. The answer indeed is Pay a $50 fine is your answer. There we go. Pay a $50 fine is your answer to this one. Did anybody get on that? I think somebody, let's see. No, alcohol, bribe, stand on his head. We're close to this. I mean, it could have been anything. Swim naked across the minnow pond, perhaps. Get permission. Yeah, $50. $50 to run your 300-mile race on Sunday. $50 in 1957 money. So, hey, how about that? These are the interesting questions. Not sure what their budget was prior to that. Well, none of the drivers are carrying umbrellas or anything, so it looks like we're going to get going again pretty soon. Alrighty, here we go. All right. Where did Bill Elliott win his only point event Busch pole in 1997? Where did Bill Elliott win his only point event Busch pole in 1997? Don't look it up. Just go ahead and guess. At what track did Bill Elliott win his only point event Busch pole in 1997? Favorite Jerry Nadeau paint scheme? Has to be the Holligan car. Absolutely. The main paint scheme. And specifically the one that he won Atlanta with. It had the little orange accents on it. I think that was what made that better. The one they ran the first part of 2000, they were kind of perfecting it along the way. But in the second half of the season, I think especially from like Sears Point onward, they ran a really nice paint scheme on the 25. And that one was my favorite. Jerry Nadeau's the Dexter's Lab Cartoon Network one, or the Jetsons 1999 version probably be tied for second, and then the Dan Marino one would be third. Those are the top ones. Where did Bill Elliott win his only point event Busch pole in 1997? The answer is Richmond. Is the answer. Richmond is your answer. Did anybody get that? Daytona, the Glen, Darlington, Pocono, Glen, Atlanta, Texas, Pocono, Dover, Indy. Nope. Richmond is your answer. Richmond. Same track that saw Kenny Irwin make his first Cup start. Probably the same event. It was this fall of 97 that he made his Cup debut in the Tonka car. All right. We're getting some good ones. We're getting some good questions here. Always like Lake Speed's Cartoon Network car. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the red one, I thought that he had the first part of 98, that he almost won the Bud Shootout qualifier, and that one was quite good. The birthday one was right up there, too. All righty, here we go. Who sold the Indianapolis Motor Speedway? Oh, first of all, we got a super chat here. Thanks again, Beast of Metal, 1989. That wreck was totally Rowdy's fault. He caused Chase to cut down in front of him at least a second too soon because he projects a hate field all around him. I'm totally not a Chase stan. Okay, well, I got to admit, it was a rough deal in that one. It seemed like a very strange decision for him to slot into line that way, but we were very close to the finish in that. And if you're going to try to fit a car into a space that's maybe 2 feet shorter than that, it's a bit of a crazy deal there. But yeah, I mean, it certainly wasn't Chase's fault. And again, I said that it seemed like it was at first because there were people that were trying to say that Chase Elliott never wrecked or it's not his fault, and then he gets in this wreck. But clearly, in that case, it was Kyle Busch's fault. But it wasn't malicious. I don't think so. I'm going to take him at his word on that. Now, the question really is too: did they get some ice cream? And if they did get ice cream, did they get M&Ms in their ice cream? That's the real question I want to know. But I don't know if Jamie Little was asking that, but that would be my question. It's like, did you get ice cream, and were there M&Ms in it? All righty. Cars are being unwrapped from like yesterday's leftovers. Good. All right, so we're not going to have to do this for too much longer. But again, thank you, Beast of Metal, for the super chat, and we'll see how Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott do tonight, or if there's going to be some retaliation along the way. Okay, we're going to get a couple more questions here probably before we get rolling again. This question here, excuse me. Who sold the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to Tony Holman in 1945? Not having the Indy 500 today is definitely a bummer. But we got ourselves an Indy question to help us tide ourselves over until August. And the question again is, who sold the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to Tony Holman in 1945? Who sold the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to Tony Holman in 1945? Eddie Rickenbacker, Wilbur Shaw, Art Rooney Sr., Matt Kenseth, Donald Trump. I mean, got several guesses here. We will find out very shortly. Yeah, it looks like the sky is clearing up here pretty soon. Oh yeah, they're uncovering the cars. We're gonna make this the last question for right now. We'll cut out here and we'll see what things go here. Again, thank you so much for everybody tuning in, and we're gonna get plugged back up here pretty soon with this. The last, okay, we're talking to John Hunter now. Okay. Who sold the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to Tony Holman in 1945? And the answer is Eddie Rickenbacker. Matt Johnson, you got it there, man. You got it. All righty. So looks like we're going to get rolling again pretty soon. I'll go ahead and let you guys go. But again, thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll do some of these other live streams along the way. I don't know if we're going to do one later tonight because this race, if this rain's going to be off and on, that's going to be awfully late for some of you guys. But we'll mix some of these in if we can during these other races this week with the Xfinity Series tomorrow, Truck Series Tuesday, and then the 500-kilometer race for the Cup guys on Wednesday. So again, enjoy the rest of the race. Look forward to the last car article later tonight. Is it going to be Denny Hamlin or somebody else? Stay tuned, and we will all find out together. Again, thank you guys for your support, and we'll go from there.